story of two like-minded CEOs, Jack Welch of GE and Azim Premji of Wipro, who had the vision to form a new joint venture in India to serve doctors and patients with life-saving technology. These two powerhouses in the world of technology and IT also shared common values of unwavering integrity, high commitment to quality products and services, and a reputation of rapid growth and an underlying motivation to serve people and their communities. It all started with a simple dream, a dream not to have any mother, father, child, wife, or husband, or any family member not to have access to life-saving healthcare technology, to give everyone an equal chance at life. How did we make this dream happen? It starts by having a passion about what we do. This passion, in fact, drives more than 40,000 global GE Healthcare members who wake up each day to make a difference in patient outcomes. This passion is connected to our vision and mission here in India, to be at work for a healthier India. The collective goal of Wipro GE Healthcare is to make advanced medical technologies accessible and affordable to every Indian. And wow, what a journey it has been. It seems like only yesterday when we laid the foundation for our first manufacturing plant in Bangalore. The year was 1991. It was the first products that were leading technologies in ultrasound, X-ray, and CT. These products were also exported across the world and quickly became known for their high-quality standards. Crossing the 100 crore turnover in 1995 was an important milestone and gave us even more motivation to invest in India. It was reinforcement to us that we were on the right track and driving for solutions that were helping healthcare providers, the government, and patients. And it prompted us to invest even more in India for India. Today, we've expanded to 3 manufacturing plants with over 400,000 square feet of production space, manufacturing globally and recognized for platforms in India for the world's citizens. Our expansion has also led to other recognitions, including India's largest exporter of medical technologies on 7 occasions and a number of awards for innovation. By mid-90s, the Wipro GE Healthcare business was India's biggest company in the medical device space. And today, with exports, the total size is 3 times the next company size in the market. Another important milestone occurred in 2000. GE decided to make a major investment in India by breaking ground on a global research center in Bangalore. Jack Welch Technology Center is GE's biggest R&D center outside of the US, housing over 5,000 engineers and scientists. All of these accomplishments and investments in just 10 years. Incredible, isn't it? With a decade of serving our customers and patients behind us, our journey has really only begun. Our turnover continued to grow as a result of over 1,000 dedicated employees who are part of this journey, giving it more power, more energy, and more momentum as we forged ahead in bringing better outcomes for patients and capabilities to the healthcare system. There have been many firsts along the way, like India's first positron emission tomography system and cyclotron at Tata Memorial Hospital and Baba Atomic Research Center for breakthrough care of cancer patients. Our focus on developing in India for the world products in cardiac, maternal infant care, and cancer is leading us to pathways that we never imagined. I feel proud to see the bright minds of India working to solve today's most pressing healthcare challenges. I will end where I started, by thanking the many customers of the Wipro GE Healthcare family, because without you and your support, the accomplishments of the last 25 years would not have been possible. Secondly, a heartfelt thanks and appreciation for the Wipro GE team. Your dedication and passion for making the world a healthier place is unmatched. And lastly, a deep gratitude to Mr. Azim Premji and the Wipro team. It's rare to see such success and longevity of a joint venture. Your commitment to India and to the highest levels of integrity have given this partnership its staying power. As we celebrate 25 years, I feel both a sense of accomplishment, but indeed a sense of urgency. Our journey is far from finished, and there are many new frontiers ahead. We are committed to invest in India, to make in India, and to build skills for India. to contribute to a healthier future that is accessible and affordable for all Indians. 2 partners, tens of thousands of installed base users, 3,500 plus employees, 25 years of history, hundreds of innovations in healthcare, and a very bright future, all with one mission: to be at work for a healthier India. Could we have asked for anything more?
Woo. I guess the hall is completely packed, and it's very exciting for us to have all of you here. Can we have a huge round of applause going out to each and every one of you who've come here, please? To start with, let me introduce myself. My name is Riaz Basha. I'll be a host for the afternoon here. Good afternoon, a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to what's possibly the most exciting day for all of us here. It also happens to be the first day of the financial year for 2015 and 16. So pat yourself on your back, because I know you're going to come out with miracles in your own domains. To start with, let's brief you with the safety, because that's utmost important for all of us. Your safety is our utmost concern. So please kindly pause for a moment and have a look on your right and your left. On your right, for those of you seated right up front here, you'll have these emergency exit symbols right there, where you can see right behind. There are 2 of them onto your right. There's one on the left. In case there is an emergency, please do not run, do not panic. Walk briskly using either of these emergency exits. You will follow the emergency exit signal, and you'll just move out to the lawn, which is the fire assembly point, and you will await further instructions there. We've got many doctors in the hall, but we still have a doctor on call in case there's a medical emergency to attend to any, if there is any. Also, if you're looking out for the restrooms, let me guide you. For those of you who just joined us, you will use the first exit right here. Yeah, walk out 25 steps, take a right turn, about 8 more steps. Onto your right, you'll find your restrooms. Also, let me take a moment and remind you of your mobile phones. Please kindly switch them off right now. And if you've done so already, I would request you to do that again. Just check, maybe about for 5 seconds. You might want to just look at your mobile phones and put them on silent mode or turn them off, because we've got a beautiful day planned for all of us here. And having said that, I guess, with a show of hands, if you've done that already, I will get a signal that you have done that. We can move on. Thank you very much. Well, a hall full of professionals who are the change makers, who are actually the change makers, who are driving the change. And if change is something to go by as a yardstick, we've come many, many miles. Our journey has been incredible, one with the help of all of you who've driven a change for a positive society. I would also like to quote Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "You must be the change you want to see." And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead and play for you a video about change right now.
History was created by ordinary men and women who had an extraordinary drive to do something beyond the usual. The doers. The go-getters. The live wires. They went over, went under, went around, or just went through, but never gave up. They struggled, they sacrificed, they fought overwhelming odds, and in the end, they triumphed. Through action, they roared yes when the world said no. They led humanity through the minefield, and the rest followed. Guided by the courage of their convictions, they dreamt the impossible and achieved the unattainable. They were the heroes of our past, the architects of our present, and the underpinning of our future. They were the men and women who sees the opportunity to make the change. Today, you can make the change because the best way to predict the future is simply to create it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, time for me to bring on stage a few of our change makers who are going to drive the change here for this afternoon as well. I'm going to start in no particular order, but with first introducing and inviting on stage somebody who's been a postgraduate in electrical engineering. He has been one of the most influential people with regards to the development of the state of Karnataka, and he's also a key force behind driving the Prime Minister's Make in India campaign here for Karnataka. Ladies and gentlemen, please, with a loud round of applause, let's welcome the Chief Secretary of Karnataka, Mr. Kaushik Mukherjee, on stage, please. Moving on to the next personality, just imagine one person who envisioned providing healthcare and better healthcare services in India and followed it up with services abroad as well. I'm talking about 6,382 owned, 2,038 managed beds across 38 owned and 13 managed hospitals as part of one of the largest healthcare networks in Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder chairman of Apollo Hospital Group, Dr. P.C. Reddy, please, on stage. It's my privilege to introduce you our third chief guest on stage. He is the head of an $18 billion business unit of a company that provides transformational medical technologies and solutions to the global healthcare industry. Which company am I talking about? Yeah, absolutely right. So we're supporting over customers in over 100 countries. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcoming our President and CEO, GE Healthcare Worldwide, Mr. John L. Flannery, please. And finally, to take things over here, like she's been doing it brilliantly, someone who's very, very passionate about healthcare and global health issues, who has devoted more than 25 years of her life to the healthcare industry and who's done many, many hats. She's also leading GE's vision of health imagination in India. Please welcome our President and CEO, GE Healthcare South Asia, Terry Bressenham, please. So over to Terry, who will take this over now.
Can you hear me all right? All right. Well, thank you, and very warm welcome to all of you. It's such a privilege to be in your company because this is a historical moment for us, I believe. We started this about 4 years back to use the need of the country for what is one of the most fundamental technologies when it comes to saving people's lives. And we're extremely excited to have this opportunity to launch from what has been innovated in India to what will be made in India, which will lead to saving the lives of Indians. And I'm really excited by this, and I really want to say thank you to these very important gentlemen on stage with us because they have been both helping hands and guiding lights to us throughout the process, as well as many of the customers who have come. In fact, the people in the front who are already given their faith in placing orders in this, it's really our distinct pleasure to have you join us. And on behalf of the 4,000 GE Healthcare members in India, and not the least of which is the team that is here in the factory who will be making this product, we are really indebted and very humbled because we took a lot of inputs from the providers here in India to help us with this very innovative design. So before we get started, I thought it would be worthwhile to remind us all as to why a change like this is so fundamentally important to improving the outcomes here in this country. So roll a video tape.
As unique as the country itself, healthcare challenges in India are also very different. 70% of the patients pay for healthcare through their own pocket, and it is driven by the private sector. Despite some significant progress in healthcare, statistics for non-communicable diseases are pretty appalling. In India, approximately 4,000 people suffer from stroke. In India, an accident is reported every minute. The key challenge in providing good quality healthcare for these patients is ready access to a diagnostic tool such as a CT scan, which is an important modality for stroke and trauma patients. A CT scan needs to be done to assess treatment pathways for patients within the first few hours. Today, we have less than 3 CTs per million population, which is not sufficient to provide the quality of healthcare a patient requires at a crucial juncture like an accident. If we want to improve access to quality healthcare, we need to move faster towards developing solutions that address the unique healthcare challenges faced by our country and at the same time make it affordable. It is not just about making and inventing in India. We need to design solutions for India. Let us act now to make the change for a better future.
With that, and I'd love to ask some questions of this group. And Mr. Mukherjee, I'll start with you.
Yep.
As the Prime Minister's campaign of spurring the economy through the idea of manufacturing, a better, bigger footprint of manufacturing, and I know you've been very helpful here in Karnataka with a lot of the companies that are trying to take this initiative forward, but what do you see that will enable this further in a company like ours who has had a long-standing history here in the country as well as in Bangalore?
Hello. Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah, first of all, congrats, Team G. Fantastic work. I think the single biggest challenge which is there before us to make in India is to make our place more livable and see that the people lead a comfortable life while making things in India. Because making is your job, and it is our very difficult job to make your life comfortable. See, we are living in a city with a huge population, lots of challenges. We have grown faster than what we had imagined. And we supply water to the city from a distance of 130 kilometers and raising it to a height of 1,000 feet. So if you really, in terms of figures, probably the water we supply to the city is as costly as mineral water. So it's a very big challenge we face. And I seek such opportunities to make this challenge known to an enlightened group of people such as we face today. So if more people know these challenges, they'll put in their might with us. I think that's the biggest problem.
Good.
Making life comfortable for the people who make in India.
Yeah. Chairman Reddy, you have been such an innovator in the healthcare space and also a long-standing loyal friend to GE. And we were discussing earlier all of the milestones along the way as the healthcare system gets developed in India. You've also had a particularly, I think, committed focus on rural India and trying to bring the standards of healthcare as well as standards of living in the villages up to a different position. What would you encourage us as well as the other technology companies and service providers in healthcare as you look forward into the future? What do you need us to be doing?
I think it was very nicely put by Mr. Mukherjee that we have grown very fast, but what's needed is, apart from the growth, and prosperity, we need health. Many of us don't realize that health is important because only at the time when you get sick, you think of a doctor in a hospital. But I must congratulate you today, and GE particularly, for this very wonderful thing that you're doing, making in India. I go back 30 years ago when I wanted to bring a hospital and care for our country and the technology, medical equipment, the duty was 370%. It was treated as a luxury item. It took me maybe 2.5 years to bring a reasonable, rational medical duty. But I think we can't keep on importing medical equipment. This is what we have been talking about in all our flora. Now NatHealth, which is representing all sectors of healthcare, not just the healthcare players. You are there representing the industry, the technology side. All of them talk saying that we need to make and innovate in India. And if we innovate in India, if what's right for India is right for probably 3 billion people. And I would say it's also even right for the US. Because what we're talking in health is, you can't accept second best. Because health is something you need to have everything possible that we can give and live up to the trust of people. This is what we've done. This is what GE has done. And I'm very happy. I know the vision that your chairman has. I must congratulate you particularly for bringing this facility. And John, for taking back with him what India needs. And when you say India needs means, I think you are talking automatically about what South Asia needs, what Africa needs. I think about 3 billion people need could be met only when you could have medical equipment available easily for people at all levels. And you talked about my village. I come from a small village, which even drinking water is difficult. GE is helping me to see how can we make a difference in health of those people. What I'm planning in that village is not just giving good health. I've adopted 69,000 people to give them physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and ecological and holistic health. It's not easy. And I'm happy GE has agreed to partner with us in several of these efforts. But what really is, we need to innovate at all levels to be able to give the care at that level, at that point. And this is where I think whatever our Prime Minister is talking about, make in India, is very close to his heart. And what you're doing now, I think, is close to the health sector for a lot of people. I know you have got people from Cambodia, Indonesia, Africa. For all of them, they see great hope saying that they're going to get wonderful technology, great technology at affordable price. Because that's really what it is. And you have mentioned very clearly, not only here, in majority of this part of the world, people pay out of pocket. And if you can make that cost, by giving quality and give a reasonable cost, I think you will get great admiration. From us personally, I think what you have done from the healthcare industry, it's a very wonderful thing. I congratulate each and every one of the team members who made this all possible. And I'm happy this is happening in Bangalore.
Small point, Terry.
Yes.
See, it's a very easy thing to produce equipment for people who can pay for it. Well, you can have a lot of cross-subsidization to some extent, and any innovation becomes costly. But then there are people who are willing to pay for the latest detection machines, latest diagnostic machines. But the biggest part of the challenge, which becomes almost spiritual, is to take something at lower cost to the people who are unable to pay for it.
Right.
So that is, I think, something. I must give my congratulations and kudos to the entire team for having done something which is almost impossible. See, we are not worried about exports or Make in India that way in this state. I don't know how many of you know that this state exports have roughly been 300,000 crores. I don't know how many, I just calculated number of zeros. It basically means $50 billion is export from the state, which is saying as much that if the dollar rupee parity is held at 62 rupees today. It's probably 85% because of Bangalore and Karnataka. If we had not exported that amount, in that case, it would have, dollar would have climbed to about 85 rupees or 90 rupees easily. So because of this massive exports from the state, we are able to keep a steady relation between the currencies. I don't know how many of you realize how much it is that you guys are doing to keep our economy in shape. In the sense, if we have a lower value of the dollar, in that case, our balance of trade and balance of payments improves, which also means our economy is in reasonably good shape. I think whether Team GE or Team Whitefield or Team Karnataka has done a wonderful work. We will see that we make your life a wee bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I think it's a very wonderful point the Chief Secretary has brought in.
Thank you.
It's very essential for the country, to have a reasonable rupee-dollar exchange. And if it goes up, everything else is going to go up.
Right.
And compliments, I join the compliment that he has given. It's outstanding what you are doing and what you're going to do. So
John,
starting from the X-ray machines to ultrasounds, now you have come to CT. I'm sure next thing you'll talk about doing an MRI and so on and so forth. There's no limit to the technology. And India, we have the talent to back you up.
yeah.
And what is needed is to give them that initiative and the infrastructure for them to do what they have done today.
Maybe tomorrow an e-doctor with a little bit of knowledge software where people can diagnose themselves to some extent, whether they should spend on costly equipment and costly diagnosis, or whether they can sleep overnight with their disease and should become okay. Little bit of e-doctoring is also required. All of us do it, but then it requires to be done a little more scientifically.
I think IBM has already taken this initiative.
Yeah.
Well, they call it Dr. Watson.
Yeah.
They've already started something like it. And that again is started here, IBM Bangalore.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Well, John, you had spent more than 3 years living in India, and in fact, we would in public congratulate or thank you for the fact that you started the funding for this project when you were CEO of GE's India business, and now you've had a chance to have a different perspective. And as you think about what the plans are for a global healthcare business of GE, on the merit of what we're trying to do here, maybe you could share some of your thoughts about the relevance of the global healthcare system with India.
Well, I want to congratulate everyone on the team first here. I remember it was about 5 years ago. I just arrived in India from Tokyo, and I remember meeting with the teams and talking about all of these products and ideas, and just thinking it was fascinating and the passion of the teams. And I remember going back, and I'm not from the healthcare industry prior to that experience, and talking to the teams in the United States, what did they think about this? And they were like, it's not that big a market. Then I'd go back and talk to our teams here, and they're like, no, it's huge. The market's huge. It's big in India. It's big around the world. And I didn't know enough to know anything better than to back the people I trusted, which were the people that were here and the passion they had and everything. So it's amazing to watch it go from that to what it is today, and especially to be able to make it here as well is excellent. I'd just say, touching on some of the things already, we see around the world in emerging markets and in US and Europe an absolute application for these products. And so our experience so far with these products, we've launched about 24 of them from India already. The sales are routinely many times outside of India what they are inside of India, and the sales inside India are much higher than we ever imagined. So I think it's a truly well-placed product that brings incredible value to people, and there's always room for a product like that. So when I think back to the dreams I had about these products 5 years ago, I realized today they were huge then to me, but they were actually small to what I see now. And I'm very eager as part of a global team now to take all the learnings here and frankly the practices of the Indian manufacturing and healthcare industry and take that globally. So we learn way more from India than probably any other country.
Well, I know another big supporter and a mentor, in fact, to me here in India someone who I think has more genuinely the interest of India in mind is Azim Premji. And unfortunately, he couldn't join us today, and it was really his deep regret because he's been a huge advocate for us to do more innovation and manufacturing here in the country. But because he couldn't join us, we actually have a short video that he wanted to convey his well wishes. So if you can play Mr. Premji's video, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an important day in the history of Indian healthcare. It is also an important day in the 25 years history of Wipro GE Healthcare. Today we are at the of making in India, making the most advanced technologies in India and for the world. It is often said that your one act can be the change. We present you an act that can change the way healthcare diagnosis is done in the country today. It is Revolution ACTS, one of the most advanced diagnostic imaging technologies designed, developed, and manufactured in India for the first time ever. It is developed by the people of India for the people of India. In a complete departure from usual methods, over 500 healthcare providers have collaborated with Wipro GE for a period of 4 years to develop this masterpiece that can enhance access to affordable technologies to support quality healthcare delivery to every Indian. And I dedicate this to the health of India. My sincere congratulations to all of you and the members of the Wipro GE Healthcare team on their passion and commitment. Your one act may be the change for the way we deal with diseases and conditions like stroke and trauma. For Wipro GE to participate in the Make in India drive is very natural, as we were the first company to manufacture advanced healthcare imaging and monitoring solutions in India, and made it an aspirational brand for its manufacturing quality and affordability around the world. However, today we have gone several steps ahead, from being just a manufacturer to develop complete 360 degrees process. Today we have the skills and talent to make the best robust design and engineering capabilities, world-class supply chain, manufacturing and distribution. An icing on the cake is our capabilities to also produce more skilled and talented people where they are needed. All these are not an overnight phenomenon. It has taken us years to develop such qualities, and there is no turning around. We can only go forward towards a healthier India. I'm sure working together, we will achieve this mission also in the future. Congratulations once again, and let's keep pushing the boundaries.
So I think if we take some of the key messages that you've each given us, it's for us to keep going and doing more, obviously, to think about the broader spectrum of things that we can do beyond technology as a company and as a community. I think also the fact that John raised is, in many ways, India's healthcare system is by far the world's most affordable system as it is, but even that's not enough, and there's more to do to make it more affordable and more accessible. But with that, it is in fact a model that is useful for us across the world because it's pushed us to some very, very difficult, challenging thresholds that we have to meet. I think on the note of us trying to work in this product, I think in particular, the number of clinicians in the country that were part of the innovation process, in fact, many of them here in the audience with us, this is ever much your product as it is our product. And I think the fact that we're going to do the manufacturing here in the country is another sense of pride for India's healthcare system to be able not to just make, but to innovate and create an economic benefit for a technology like this. But in the center of all this, of course, is to come back to patients. As we know, the CT system is one of the most valuable, non-invasive technologies that indeed saves people's lives. Simply take stroke. 1.5 million people die every year due to stroke. And we know CT is one of the most fundamental life-saving ways to assess stroke and therefore save the person's life. And in fact, if you look at that statistically, the combination of the deaths from malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV, stroke far exceeds the sum of those three diseases, which is a large conversation that goes on in this country. So we are excited by the opportunity to serve the patient population with something which is far more affordable, far more accessible into the rural markets. And I think the debt of gratitude to Mr. P.C. Reddy, who's been a big proponent of this, as well as Mr. Mukherjee for the development of the platform here in Bangalore, and to John and to Mr. Premji for their guidance in this as well. So without further ado, I'll ask Chairman Reddy, Mr. Mukherjee, if you can join us to officially launch our product. We'll up here on stage. Ask you maybe to put your hand, each of you put a hand on the crystal ball.
Yeah, ready go first.
Supposed to come on screen. Oh.
Thank you so much to all four of you for having done this for us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to have three more people join them on stage who are also going to present them a token of appreciation. Please welcome Mr. Sachin Nene, plant manager, who's going to come up on stage now.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Manoj Unnikrishnan, GM Engineering.
Thank you.
Mr. Srikant Suryanarayanan, Product Marketing, MICT.
All the best.
And we'll have Srikant give another token of appreciation to Terry as well.
Special one to her. Very good. All the best.
Could we have a photo opportunity with all of you all,
What you
please?
said about that 50 billion is very impressive.
See, I've been
really
trying
gets
to
into our
impress
head.
people. I think this audience would probably carry it back somewhere.
Yes, I think
Could we have a photograph with all four of you on stage, please, if you all don't
Why
mind?
not, please?
Can we have a huge round of applause going on for them? Come on.